I'm super excited to have Raudha here with me in my office, in the office of the National Chair of the Women of Uganda. We are right here. Raudha, you're most welcome. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm so excited to have you in my office. You can't imagine how I'm feeling. But at least this is my second time to see you. And I love your smile. I love everything about you. How are you?
Fine.
Do you know my name? You know? Let me introduce myself. My name is Hajjat. I went to Mecca and I became a Hajjat in some 20 years back. To add on that, when I was born, they named me Faridah. My parents named me Faridah Kibowa. Kibowa is my father's name. So I carried it on. And when I went to Mecca, I became a Hajjat. Where you are now is the office of the National Chairperson of all the women of Uganda. So as a young woman, you're in the right place. Yeah? So you're in the right place, feel free, feel comfortable. I'm honored to have you. And I've been waiting for this day. I've been longing for it. You remember when we met, I asked your handlers to bring you to my office. At least we have a one-on-one, and I know you're going to perform Umrah. I want you to pray for me. I want you to pray for this office. I want you to pray for me, as I also pray for you. And I also, you remember how I introduced a young friend, that Rahma. You remember Rahma? She even wanted to come, but I said, no, I'm meeting Raudha. So she sent you greetings. And this office is for the women of Uganda. And what I do in this office is to bring all the women of Uganda together for development purposes, okay? You understand? Irrespective of their tribe, religion, or culture. So when you clock 18 years as a Ugandan woman, you fall under the Women's Council. For me, I take up leadership roles and responsibilities with my executive, with my district women leaders. But the women that I lead are all the women of Uganda for development purposes. So Parliament enacted a law, and they gave us an act that gives us the mandate to carry on the leadership roles and responsibilities. But as a young woman, I really felt like you should come here and we have a one-on-one. So you're most welcome. I look forward to discussing so many issues, especially on religion. I saw you on TV, you're trending. You know that? You know that you're trending. I love the way Sheikh Yassin gets into the deeper conversations with you, you discuss, and the way you respond. Do you know that you're a powerful young woman? Do you know that? Have you been praying for it? You've been praying for it. Okay, now I'm going to give you a chance to introduce yourself to me, and you tell me, maybe if you have any question, you can ask me, and I can also ask you questions. So.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Raudha Nasiif Luyinda, and I study at Tawhid Islamic Nursery and Primary School.
Tawhid is where? Kisenyi?
Yes.
Okay.
And my class is P3 Orange.
P3? Okay. How old are you?
I am 7 years old.
7? Okay. Luyinda is your parent? Who is Luyinda?
Luyinda is my father.
He's your father? Who is he? Without that, Sheikh Yassin is your father. Really? But Luyinda is your father. Who is your mother?
My mother is Shalma Nasiif.
Shalma Nasiif. Okay. So how did you come to learn Arabic? How did you become confident? How did you get there really? Because I think people who are looking at you, people who watch your videos, they admire you. How did you, what inspired you? Who started all this? Who helped you start all this?
By the help of Sheikh Yassin.
Sheikh Yassin, eh? Sheikh Yassin is your teacher?
Yes.
He teaches you what?
He teaches me my religion.
Your religion, eh? So he's a teacher at Tawhid?
No?
Okay. So is Sheikh Yassin a family friend? How did you get to know Sheikh Yassin?
When I was in the age of 6, I met Sheikh Yassin, and Sheikh Yassin started teaching me as I wasn't dressing up properly like this.
Okay, so he first taught you how to dress up properly in the Sharia?
No? Someone told him that I don't dress up properly, and he said that he knows. And after 1 week, I started dressing up like this.
Okay. So you started dressing up like that. So how did people perceive it? Did they appreciate the way you started wearing, or how did they comment about that new type of wearing that you started?
They appreciated it.
So they appreciated it. So you think it is better for everyone to wear like the way you wear?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, when looking at back to school, how do other children wear? How do they wear, really?
At school?
Yes.
Like for boys, they wear a shirt and a trouser and a sweater. If they can get a mask, they can.
And for the girls?
Girls, they wear a shirt, trouser, dress, veil, and sweater.
And sweater.
Yes.
Okay. So what is your message to the girls out there who don't wear properly, who are like, they are not mindful about what they should wear?
I said to them that they should dress while covering all their body parts. And if they would like to cover their faces, they can.
They can.
Yeah.
Okay, but do you also intend to cover your face, or you're not yet there?
I also intend to cover my face.
Who inspires you to cover your face? Who inspires you to want to cover your face?
Hajjat Shania.
Hajjat Shania, she puts on a...
Do you know Hajjat Shania Chigozi?
Yes, we are even going to have her on the panel. Is it on Hijab Nation?
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
So she inspires her because they are good friends with Hajjat Shania Chigozi.
Really?
So that she likes putting on that.
But I'm told when you begin putting on that niqab, you don't remove it for the rest of your life.
That is a stereotype.
Really?
Yeah, it's not true.
It is not true.
It's
Even
not true.
me, one time I wanted to put on a niqab, but they told me that when you start, you don't remove it.
I know that's not true. That's not true. But basically, what I think is that when somebody starts putting on a niqab, them inside themselves, they feel like I cannot put it on.
Yes, it's like starting putting on a veil.
Yeah.
Because like me right now, I can't remove my veil. So
it's not like you don't. I mean, it's not like you can't, but you don't want.
But I don't want, and in any case, if I try, I feel like I'm half naked.
Yeah, that's it. So that's what happens with the people who put on the niqabs.
Okay.
It's not a must that they have to put it on for the rest of their life, but even when they're with women, they put it off. So literally, they just cover their faces, maybe for cases of modesty and chastity, something of that sort.
No.
Why? Why do they cover their faces?
When I went to the parliament with Hajjat Shania, I asked her why she covers her face, and she told me that if women cover their faces, they get rewards from Allah.
Okay, so she wants rewards.
I
love that.
I think that's the reason I cover my face. But for me, in my perspective, my opinion is that besides even the rewards, we look at chastity and modesty, because we are in a time where when men look at a woman, they admire her and they start disturbing her. So you cannot disturb somebody you don't know how they look like in the face. Because look at yourself, you're so beautiful. And so
Indeed,
so
she is.
Somebody looks at you. Yes. So basically, I look at it in that way. But Raudha, sitting in this office here, for the leader of all women in the country, what does it make you feel?
It makes me feel great.
Do you think that you can aspire also to be in such a position?
Yes.
What would you do for the women of Uganda if you get a chance to sit in her position?
I would help them. I will help them to give them food, water, and many other things.
Don't you think sourcing for employment, jobs for them is better than giving them food or water? What is better? Giving them jobs or giving them food and water?
Giving them jobs.
Or there are some who are disadvantaged and they cannot get jobs.
Yeah.
Okay, looking at the jobs through this office, actually this office is a government office. We always look at tapping into the existing government programs, because there are so many government programs that are in place that have benefits to the women. So we help them know about all the existing government programs that are passed by Parliament, civil society organizations, non-government organizations, development partners. There are so many people who are willing to help women, and we always encourage them to use the Women's Council, because the Women's Council is under the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. So under that ministry, we can always get people who want to support women, women of Uganda. Because looking at the existing government programs, fine, they are there, but they are not enough. And not all women can benefit. A few benefit and the rest remain behind. So we always encourage people to use the Women's Council structure, because this structure, actually how I came to this office, to take you back, we have elections of women from the village to the elect, like me, I was elected from my village, and then elected at the parish, elected at the sub-county, at the district, and after that, all the women from the 140 districts of Uganda came and voted me into this as a national chairperson. So looking at that structure alone, we have over 350,000 women leaders that can take the information to the women in all the villages of Uganda. So we encourage, we lobby for the women's share in all the programs like PDM, the parish development model. Have you ever heard about that parish development model?
No.
No, it is something quite bigger than her. There is money for women in the women entrepreneurship program, money for youth, because there are those young girls who are in the youth structure, and there is a program for the young people. There is also the program of Grow Now, money purely for women entrepreneurs, and we are launching it tomorrow. The banks that have got the money, the only challenge that we still have with some of these monies as Muslim women is that some have some bit of interest, which as Muslims we don't go for. So this one has disturbed us a lot, because when a woman is supposed to, a Muslim woman is going to benefit from it, then that obstacle of the interest, the riba, bars us from getting that money.
So, Raudha, what does Islam say about riba? Is it acceptable or is not?
I don't know what riba means.
You don't know what riba means? You ask her what riba is.
So riba is like, for example, if you get money from the bank, that interest that is added on that money. When you go to the bank to get a loan, remember you have to add on some interest, which is not accepted by the Islamic teaching.
So
Allah,
for example, Hajjat gives you 1,000 shillings. Then she tells you, do you know when somebody lends you something, so you have to take it back afterwards, right? So for example, Hajjat gives you 1,000 shillings, and you have to take back, and she tells you that you have to bring back 2,000. 2,000. That is haram. It is
the
not
interest, when I lend you money, or when you lend me money, I have exactly to pay you back that exact money. But what happens here, when women go to access money in the banks, the bank will always demand that top up, which is not allowed by the teachings of the Quran. So that alone gives us it is a big challenge for the Muslim women, and they have always raised it up. And in all the meetings where we normally get women who raise that, you see the response is not that clear, because for them it is like they want to make profits. yet prophets are not allowed in Islam. That
Okay,
was
Hajjat, before we go to another point, I met a lady and she had this thing of, Muslims do not want their kids to go to school, they don't allow women to work, they don't allow women to study. So can you help us kill the stereotype? Because what Raudha is doing, she's trying so much to show people that we do go to school and she has a dream.
Yes.
What do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to become when you grow up?
I want to become a teacher.
You want to become a teacher? Oh, excellent.
Excellent.
Now, she wants to become a teacher.
Yes.
Now, when you look at such a dream, there are people who say that Muslims do not allow their women and girls to go to school to realize such dreams. So what do you say about this stereotype and this misconception about Islam and their women and the ladies and the young girls? What do you tell the public about this misconception? Because you happen to be an educated woman and a lady of integrity, you have studied, you have the books, so you have seen this and you hear about this. So help us give this.
Yes, we have seen it and we have heard about it. And I think, I don't want to say it is a misguided missile because some people see it as if it is real, but as far as I understand, the small understanding of Islam that I know is that Islam is about reading and acquiring knowledge. We have to look for knowledge everywhere. And going to school is a very big advantage. Look at her, young as she is, the way she can express herself, the way she has inspired people. It is because she has gone to school. She knows English, she knows Arabic, she has it all. But going forward, I think we need to change somewhere, somehow, looking at, because there is this example that I always give to men that I remember they taught us, and the teaching is, and I think it is the truth, that one of Prophet's wife, Khadija, was such a rich woman. How did she become rich? She had to work. She had, and you can be rich, and she was rich, and she was a wife to the Prophet.
Definitely.
I can be rich, and I'm a wife to my Hajj. Like me, for example, I've been in marriage for 21 years, but I have been working, and my husband has been very supportive, and I think the men out there should change this whole story. We looked at a situation when we had COVID, and everyone was totally down. Women who were working and had money really supported families. But you would see a man would really go empty in the pockets, and the woman would support. And secondly, I think I need to appreciate those who have really helped a girl child to go to school. And if you're educated and you know how to manage your business, because you cannot manage business when you've not gone to school. You can't balance the books. Even when you open up a big enterprise without having the skill of balancing books, of talking to the clients, how will you manage? But all these things are taught. Because when you know very well, Sheikh, when you go to school, the more you study, the levels that you go to, you can have a diploma, you upgrade to a degree, you don't remain the same. You upgrade to a master's, when you get a PhD, you don't remain the same. Things begin changing. So I think we need to go back to the drawing board and erase that fear that when women go to work, they become stubborn. I think women that have worked have really supported. And I don't mind. We don't want women to remain behind so much like that. Yet they have a role to play. You know, the woman is the engine of the family. How dare you say that the engine of the family does not know how to read and write? That one stopped a long time ago. And we don't want to judge those who didn't take their children to school, but again, we don't want to go back into that era. It ended with those that didn't go. Fine, they gave birth to people who went back to school, but still they noticed that going to school was the way to go.
All right.
Like now you see computer technology, you can't do away with technology because everything now you see all the gadgets. So I think we need to change the narrative.
Okay, people have been seeing Raudha for quite a good period of time, and people have been asking themselves, does she come from Uganda? Mm-hmm. How old is she? Mm-hmm. She's young, and a lot of things have been said about this. When you look at Raudha, what comes to your mind? What visions do you have for her in the future? And what do you think she needs to see that her dream keeps shining and flourishing?
I see a star. I see a star already seated with me here. I see a girl who is blessed because not everyone can do what Raudha is doing. I see favor on her, and my prayer is that the people handling her right now, I want to first of all appreciate them because the way she has been nurtured. You look at someone who is not an ordinary person. She's not very ordinary. She's very amazing, and she's this person who cannot be excited there and then. The first time I saw her, I looked at her and I studied her very well. She's not that person you can excite so quickly. So I think the handlers have really helped her to maintain that. So, and the fact that she's a very prayerful girl and she understands Allah, and you see whatever she talks, she wants to please Allah. She wants to get reward from Allah. I definitely know that she will get there. But to the parents, her parents, besides now the handlers, her parents should keep an eye on her, should always be supportive, and I don't want them to treat her like she's very, very, definitely we know she's already star, but she has to remain in line, in that line with other children at home. She should not be, they should not allow her to become proud, because when she becomes proud, I think that will mess her up. They should always remind her that she should not get off the lane. She should keep in the lane as a child. She should actually be able to do work at home, not to think that for her she's very exceptional. I don't want her to grow wings. My prayer is that she keeps in the lane. She keeps as a child, as a daughter who appreciates other children the way they are. And I know she's aware that God has blessed her, and she should actually not think that she's this kind of person who should be feared so much, like be taken as if she's very, very special. But to the rest of the children that stay with her at home, they should protect her. She needs protection. I remember when the first time I met her, I wanted her to eat with me, but she had to first go and ask you, definitely the handler and the dad, that should I go and eat? That is very good. It was because of her security. I loved it and I noticed it, that she's not this kind of person, because she's already somewhere. Someone might even come for her, despite the fact that we are telling her to keep calm and keep normal, but at the back of her mind, she should be mindful of her personal security. That one should be taught to her all the time, that some bad people might come to her and wanting to harm her, because there are people who are always envious on things that do not even concern them. Sure. They see a girl who is prospering, who is what, but they would say, no, why Raudha? There are people who are created like that. So that personal security for her is very key. But I'm seeing a person who is going to be a great woman, and given an opportunity to go to secondary and university, the sky cannot even be the limit. I'm glad that she's keeping Allah so close, and I know Allah will protect her. Yes.
So can the country be proud to have a person like Raudha? Because we have seen very many African countries, even far and beyond, have international people who can spread the word of God. Recently, Raudha was with Mufti Menk, and I was so happy that Mufti Menk being a socialite and a person who spreads the word of God on internet, known by very many, Mufti Menk knew Raudha, who Raudha was. So do you think that the country should better appreciate and be proud of having people like Raudha? And do you think that the country, through your office, of course, as the leader of all women, do you think that the country should support such people? And our name, the country, the Pearl of Africa, is known for something good, maybe outside.
Definitely, government. Because we were in Mecca with you, and I saw Raudha in State House.
Yeah, true.
Yes, I saw her, and I saw how the president, when she was reciting, the president was actually looking at her and admiring her. And I think you've done a wonderful job on her to put her up on the table. And I think as government, we should be very supportive to this young girl and people like her, because they are not everybody can be like her. She's one in a million. She's one in all the young people that we see here. And it is even the reason why I requested that she comes to my office. So we rather just to know, for us as women, we are proud of you. The country is proud of you. When you're growing up, you should bear in mind that there are already people who are looking up to you, young as you are, but you're already an inspiration to so many. So you should know how to navigate. You should know how to behave. You should always be very prayerful, because now for her, our emphasis is to put herself into prayer and put her into prayer so that we see a different person in different stages. Because after P7, she will not be like this. And we don't want her to get lost around senior 4, around Form 6. We want to see her even after university, because she has started well. And at this stage, we can only encourage her to pray, ask God, Allah, to protect you. This should be your major prayer, to protect you, because people have evil eyes. Yes, you should be very prayerful that you're not disturbed. And this one goes back still to the parents. The parents, the mother and the father and the people she's living with and the whole family, they should understand that she needs prayer and she needs protection. She can be this one person from the family that can make the whole family shine. The whole country can shine because of you. Because, like for example, we didn't know Mufti Menk. We didn't know where he grew up from. Looking at the stories that he gives us on social media, those who are following him, that is when we get to know that he was from a humble family.
Actually, we got to know that he comes from Africa.
From Africa, Zimbabwe. Yes. So rather, just keep on. But you see how people were waiting for Menki here. I can see Raudha is also destined for that. So rather, just know that as a woman, you need to protect yourself. And there are people who are very evil. May Allah protect you from evil people.
All right. They say that it is said that every day might not be good, but there's something good in every day. Definitely. Thank you very much. So today has been wonderful that we have come to visit you, Hajjat. Thank you very much for your time. Raudha, do you have some questions for her? I mean, she's there. You can ask anything you want. She's a very free person. I actually traveled with her for Umrah. She's a very free person. And we shall get time and visit her home, inshallah. So, Raudha, if there's something you're prepared to tell Hajjat, she said that she wants to hear you preaching, but because what you do best is to preach the word of God. And what she does best is to lead the women in the country to greatness and to flourish in their dreams. So, is there anything, any message you've prepared so that she can hear from you?
Alhamdulillah. Thumma salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. As I was reading, I came across a story of a great man. It left me in a moment of think. On his deathbed, he made 3 wishes. Number 1, he said, when I die, I desire that only my doctors should carry me to my grave. Number 2, I desire that when my coffin is transported to my grave, all my wealth that I collected should be poured along the road to my grave. 3. My third and last wish is that both my hands hang out of my coffin as I am carried to my grave. So they agreed to do so, but asked him why he said all that. The great man said, I want the people to learn 3 lessons that I have learned from this world.
Yes.
He said, I want my doctors to carry my coffin because people should realize that no doctor can cure anybody.
True.
They are helpless in front of death. About my second wish, I spent all my life earning riches, but cannot go back with anything.
Yeah.
I will leave everything behind. Thirdly, I wish people to know that I came empty-handed into this world, and I will go empty-handed. We carry nothing to the grave. So I agree with this man on his 3 wishes. However, I beg to differ on his last wish, that we live with nothing. We go without things, but we can live with memories of people we have encountered.
True.
We leave a mark on the hearts of people we meet at work, attend school with, and more. So do you know who this man is? Alexander the Great, the conqueror of many kingdoms. It's the point that I would like to share with you a hadith. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that 3 things follow that dead person to the grave. 2 of them return and only 1 remains. His family, wealth, and actions follow him. His family and wealth return, but his deeds will remain.
True.
So let's all make sure we do good,
Yes.
and good will follow us. May Allah accept our deeds.
Thank you.
Amen.
Well, that's what you do best. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I mean, I've heard about Alexander the Great. He is a guy who founded America. I think that's the guy, Alexander the Great. Conquered very many places. Hajjat, what have you learned from what she has said?
Basically, first of all, me, I fear death. Honestly, I fear death. And if it was not for death, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be a giver. I wouldn't be a God-fearing person. I wouldn't be like a real person. But it is because of death that I compose myself. I get to know Allah so much. I get to appreciate people the way they are. I get to know that I'm not going to be on this planet Earth forever. I have to be a good person. I have to appreciate everybody because I know God created all of us, and I have to be a loving person. So that when I go to meet my Creator, I present exactly what I did with my heart. I follow my heart. I communicate with my heart. One thing I noticed, and one thing I have, actually another thing that I've learned, that this man, at his point of death, he knew that he was supposed to be, to be a helper, help people, because he was not going with anything. He knew that doctors could not even do anything at that moment. He knew that God who created, he knew that now he was going to meet the real person who brought him on planet Earth. So he wanted to prove to everybody that even when you have money and you can go to very expensive hospitals and what, to meet professors, doctors, and what. There is nothing they can do. So let them carry his body to the grave. So what does this mean? It literally means that you have to put yourself to God, to Allah.
True.
Give back everything, appreciate him. Okay, as we go through this life, this journey of life, we have to be mindful of Allah. Because first of all, we do not know where we came from, and the time we have seen people going, because I think that man, and it is true that man had seen people die, and he knew he was going. So the lesson that I have learned, and I've had it in me, is that we are not here to stay. So we better keep calm, we better keep loving, we appreciate people, we focus on Allah and focus on good deeds. So it was very good that you learned about him, and I think it is exactly what you're doing.
Yes.
Young as you are, you're looking at Allah, you want to preach the word of Allah, and you want to please Allah in everything that you do. So,
thank you very much. My message to both of you now, Hajjat, for you, you have reached the heights and you're there to inspire. And rather, you're aspiring to inspire others. And you have done the job of inspiring. But at the end of the day, you guys talk about not staying forever, but what stays is the legacy. Our names shall live longer than us. And this is how you can live eternally. This is by setting a precedent that others are going to follow, and your name shall be sung for years and years, even when you die. So the legacy is what matters. And Hajjat said that she fears death. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that "Akthiru min dhikri hadhimi ladhat." Remember so much death. Why? Lam yakun fi kathirin illa qallalahu. The remembrance of death does not be into something much except it is belittled. So if you have a lot of happiness, if you have a lot of joy, you must reduce that, knowing that you're not here tomorrow. If you're careless, you must reduce the carelessness, knowing that tomorrow you're not there. And it's not in something small, except it becomes too much. So if you have little hope, you must remember death so that you get hope that in the heavens you'll get felicity and joy. So that's what happens. I'm very happy that we have had this dialogue. It's a different one, and inshallah it shall be aired on all the accounts that are handled by Raudha, Nasiif, Luyinda, through the handlers and the Raising Muslim. And we are happy that Hajjat you've given us this time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you in office and use you to make Islam a perfect religion for all other people. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your deeds, Raudha. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use you, Raudha, and Hajjat Faridah, to see that you empower and you bring up and you inspire the rest of the women in the world.
And by the way, I want to tell her that, Raudha,
Yes.
you inspire so many young people out there. Can you imagine Rama had seen you before? And when she saw you physically, she was very excited. And when I saw that TikTok of you and Rahma, when you had put my good friend, I was reading on the comments. I thought, I think you also read some of the comments. Every parent was like, I want my child to be, I want my child. I think, Sheikh Yasin, you've seen that. Yeah. I'm praying for my children. Where do they go to school? And now they had even started attaching Rema to Raudha. So this is how far she has gone. And so many parents, actually, the parents that watch you, that see you on media, they all want their children to be like you. Can you imagine? Subhanallah. They all want to be, their daughters to be like you. Even those that are not Muslims. They are saying like, oh, this girl here, oh, this girl. So I think looking at that, you should deep inside you know that you're not an ordinary person, though we have accepted and agreed that when you're home, be a normal person. do housework.
Let her just be a child.
Be a child, do housework, cook food. When mommy calls you to wash plates and wash clothes, be that person who is holistic. You do this, you do that. When it comes to cooking, you have to be this person who can cook, because when you grow up, you'll get married. When you grow up, you'll be this person who will have a home, and you have to learn housework activities. So, but deep inside you, just know you're not ordinary. There are so many parents who are looking at you, so many children who are admiring you. Can you imagine how excited I am to be with you here? It is a pleasure, it is an honor. I'm super, super excited to be with you. Imagine, but it is because of the grace of Allah that Allah has poured on you these favors and blessings that you've made it. So just know I pray for you, I love you, and to the viewers, we love you too. Let's pray for Raudha, because she's really very young. She needs guidance, but more importantly, she needs prayers.
Thank you very much, all our viewers and listeners. We are live here in the office of the leader of all women, Hajjat Faridah Kibowa, in Uganda. And she is trying to have a word with Raudha, inspiring her.
Maybe I can ask, how does she feel when I say that I love you, I'm excited to see you? How do you feel when I'm like reading?
When somebody comes and says, like, I love you so much, you inspire me.
Because this is what everybody says. How do you feel? Can we share with you?
I feel good.
You feel good.
That's it, you just feel good.
I feel good. I feel safe, and I also feel loved.
Oh, mashallah. She feels safe.
Oh, you feel safe, and I like that. You feel safe and loved.
Loved.
Well, you deserve that.
To the viewers, this is what Raudha feels when we say we love her, she inspires us, she feels good, she feels safe, and she feels loved. Those are powerful 3 words.
So you have favorite things, right? What is your favorite color?
My favorite color is pink.
Not different from any other girl. And what is your favorite food?
I have a lot of favorite foods.
Which one is the favorite, the most loved?
Pizza.
Pizza. Okay. So Raudha, I know you're going to Mecca. You're going to Mecca. Labbaik Allahumma. So Allah has answered it. He has called you.
Yeah.
Mashallah. I wish you a safe travel. But when you reach there...
Did you see that video where I was at the Kaaba and I prayed for Raudha and her parents?
Yes.
Within a glimpse, we got calls that Raudha is going to go to the Kaaba with her father. So I felt happy that Allah had responded to my dua. Did you see that video?
Yes.
Yeah, so you
Congratulations.
See, when you are at the Kaaba, you pray for everybody.
You pray for everybody.
Because Allah responds to all those prayers.
Yes, and me personally, you remember me, Raudha. Okay?
Yes.
Please don't forget me. Don't forget Hajjat Faridah. You say Faridah Kibowa, the chair of the women. We are praying for bigger things. You pray for this office because this is a big office, but we always pray for the best. There are bigger offices than this. So we appreciate this, but we still pray for the best. Allah has always told us to pray for bigger what? Things. So you pray for me. I have some pocket money for you.
Okay.
I have some pocket money for you, Raudha. In dollars, in shillings, in what?
Have you ever owned dollars? The president gave you money, right?
Yes.
How much did he give you?
He gave me 0.
3 points?
No, it was something in 0.
Well, 1 point something.
1 point something, I think.
So Raudha, this is $100. You will
just take some water.
When you're there, this is to be used when you're there. Now this one, you'll use it to buy what you want here. Before you leave, you might even want to pack some small things. They take you buy those small things and you put in your suitcase.
Thank you.
All right,
thank you.
Inshallah. Okay, guys, we are signing out. It is raising Muslims, and we say...
I also want to thank you, Sheikh Yasin, for bringing Raudha here in my office and for nurturing her into what she is now. Your efforts cannot be taken for granted, and we can't take them unnoticed. So we appreciate you, and we pray for you to also have kids.
Yeah, I have a child, my little girl, and as soon as she was given birth to, so Raudha had to visit my girl. And I told Raudha, what name are we going to give to my girl? And she said, let us name her Raudha. So definitely, my girl is called Raudha.
Yeah.
Mashallah. Yeah, Raudha Nuhaila. Because Nuhaila is what her mother gave her, then for you gave her Raudha.
So I know you're also going with Raudha. This is also your pocket money.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mashallah. And that marks the end of our day. We say thank you very much. Hajjat, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.